So we are speaking with Tina Starner. And what company are you with and position?
I am with a company called Ahold Delhaize USA, and I work for their company Retail Business Services. So we provide support services to their great local brands, Hannaford, Stop and Shop, Giant, Martin's, grocery stores, up and down the East Coast of the United States. So I'm a member of the fuel sourcing team there. We are a 10-member team, and we have 6 women that are on that team, which is rather impressive, and we're very proud of that fact. And we supply fuel to the fuel stations that are associated with the grocery stores that we operate in the United States. And we also provide fuel sourcing to the distribution centers that provide supplies and groceries to the stores.
That's fantastic. Now, 6 other women on your team.
6 women on our team.
Did you have a hand in that, in hiring the 6 other women?
No, I did not.
So your company is progressive.
Yes, we are, very. It's just a wonderful team to be on, and just proud to be on that team.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It also sounds very rewarding.
It is very, and very challenging.
Yes.
Never a dull moment.
Seems like it, especially dealing, I think you said yesterday, I mean, you're all over the country.
We are.
And you're supplying the trucks that get to the grocery stores.
We supply the diesel supply that fuel those trucks. We also supply the gasoline and diesel that's sold at a retail level at our fuel stations. So
it's incredible. What's a typical day for you?
There is no typical day, which I love.
Yep.
Lots of energy, you have to be very adaptable. And you could go in with a plan, know that it's probably not going to come to fruition. And that's what I like about it, because I just love the challenge, I love the dynamics, I love the energy. The energy, no pun intended. I like it. Typical day could be anything from just scheduling environmental testing to dealing with a spill perhaps on a bad day maybe. Just putting out fires really, handling problems, answering questions, assisting our brands however we can possibly assist them.
That's fantastic. Now, do you think as a woman you have an advantage in the putting out fires and
I think women they're just very adept in general at multitasking and at problem solving. I mean, that's just the way that we are.
Yep.
I think that's a strength of ours and something that we can leverage within our careers. So I think that gives us an advantage.
Absolutely. What's the best part of your job?
Oh, the best part of my job. Meeting people. We are such a large organization, as many organizations are now. And sometimes you get away from that face-to-face conversation and interaction. We're so reliant on technology and telephones or email or text messaging or even webinars, which allows for some face-to-face communication. For me, it's traveling. It's getting out and seeing our fuel stations, our grocery stores, our customers, the distribution centers, and meeting the teams that run those very, very large centers. The guys that drive the trucks, the women that drive the trucks. To me, it's the face-to-face, one-on-one interaction.
Do you get to get out often?
Depends on the season. Depends on the task at hand. Sometimes yes. Sometimes not as much as I'd like to, but I make sure that I try and get out.
Got it. And I'm going to skip around a little bit with our questions, but have you faced any adversity when you come up to these bigger supermarkets, organizations?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, as a woman,
yep,
you do. Fuel, especially the world of petroleum, has historically been a male-dominated industry. Not so much anymore. We're making headway
Absolutely.
as women in that industry. But sure, there are opportunities, I guess, to prove yourself and to prove that women do belong in this industry, as in any industry, that we've got what it takes. We've got what it takes to grab the baton and run with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey that got you here?
Oh my. So I like to say that this career found me. I didn't find it. Really, I just started out in a little hometown with an associate's degree in legal assistance and worked in small law offices, just private firms, accounting offices. Really, I was working part-time and raising my son. And then as my son grew older, I got more into my career, and I joined an organization called Sheetz, which runs convenience stores in the United States, and started out on their legal team, quite frankly. And that was my first true exposure to the world of petroleum. So I started with Sheetz in their legal department, went to their fuel tax accounting team, and got a lot of experience and exposure to that world then. Went into a mid-office role, learned about hedging, learned about petroleum buying, hauling, scheduling loads. It was a very fascinating world to me, and I think that's when I really, really started to find an interest in the petroleum industry. And then came to Carlisle, PA, and joined this team that I'm on now, All Holds, RBS Fuel Sourcing, and I just love it. I'm in environmental compliance and maintenance, which is a bit different and not something I had planned on, but I have found that I've been able, through my career, touch on every aspect of the petroleum world. And to me, it's just fascinating, and it's exciting, and there's never a dull moment.
That's fantastic. Was there anyone who has ever mentored you along the way or encouraged you?
I think I've had just a lot of people direct me on my path. Maybe not so much a mentorship, which I think is wonderful, and I encourage that, and I want the next generation to seek that. I think it's extremely important and extremely valuable. For me, it was just people kind of nudging me along the way, whether it was a manager, a boss, a friend, or just a coworker who just kind of just directed me on my path.
That's great. What other jobs have you held?
Oh my. I was a florist. I managed a country club kitchen and bar and banquet hall. So we did weddings and golf events and banquets of this nature. And quite frankly, grew up on a farm, so I cleaned out animal stalls and baled hay and dug potatoes and things like that. So it's been an interesting journey.
Absolutely. Do you think growing up on a farm helped you be in a man's world?
I think that it did. It's not an easy occupation. You learn that you need to put in long days, get up early. Sometimes you go to bed very late. And sometimes you're tired, and you just are, but you understand the value of hard work.
Yep.
Not that other people don't, but it's just a different kind of career and different kind of lifestyle. And you just learn the importance of, again, a hard day's work and reliance on other people, too, to get through it. So partnerships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you tell young women thinking about a future in the energy industry?
Be fearless. Do not let fear stop you. You can do anything that you want to do. You just got to work at it. Just work at it and believe in yourself. And don't let anybody tell you no. If it's in your heart, if you really want to do it, go for it.
Is that what you would say to your younger self, or what would you say to your younger self?
That's exactly what I would say to my younger self. Do not
had
let
a
fear
feeling.
stop you. Do not let fear stop you.
Yep.
It's a big world, and don't limit yourself.
Can you share one project or job that was memorable in some way?
A project or job that was memorable. And I've answered this question already, and I don't know. A project or job that was memorable.
It could be good, it could be bad. We just had one where it was both.
I know.
Yeah,
this is true. This is
memorable
true.
is memorable.
This is true.
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, probably the job I had that was most memorable would be the country club job. Just because it was such a different world.
Yep.
And we just worked so very, very hard. But it was probably my first opportunity at leadership and managing a team.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, I had worked just independently and managed my own workload and my own project load. But I would say that was the moment when I understood better what it took to lead a team, what it took to problem solve and to spearhead those efforts, and that it's not a me task, it's a we task, and nothing really gets accomplished without everybody's efforts.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, managing the country club, and you're saying that there are some weddings that you were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Brides are hard.
Brides are very, very
Yeah.
they're under a lot of stress.
Yes.
Yes,
so
they are. They are
So
under
I
a lot
think
of
that
stress.
taught you a lot.
It did. It did teach me a lot, very much so. Just to understanding that that you don't know what a person's been asked to walk in their life. You don't know their path. You don't know what they're going through at the moment. And sometimes an interaction might not be about me. It might be about the other person. And you just have to understand that and be respectful of that, and just understand that we're all in this together and we're all going to get through it. And the best that you can do is just support a person.
It's wonderful advice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you see for the future of the energy industry?
Oh my. I see just an unstoppable force of women in this industry, and it's just going to change the entire industry. It really is. It's just going to change everything. And we're just making such progress. Every generation, more and more progress, more and more change, and it's just a very exciting time to see this next generation come up and, take it one step further. Again, grab that baton and take it one step further. Yeah.
Last question. What makes you feel powerful?
Yesterday I said it was my red shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it is. It's just red shoes.
Mm-hmm.
What makes me feel powerful? I just think I have an inner peace about myself now. I know myself much better than I did when I was in my 30s or certainly in my 20s. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's just as I age, I feel more self-assured and more self-confident, and just accept myself more. And that's something that I would say to anybody, any young lady coming up in this industry, or any industry, or really any young lady at all, is you are enough, and never doubt yourself. And just stay true to yourself and what you truly, truly want in your life, and you will succeed at anything that you want to do.